And until we define morality and legality, I think we need to go back to the table. So you say, Frazier, why would you oppose bingo when 1,500 or 1,600 people got jobs down there at the dog track? Well, that's true. That's very true. That's very true. But you got thousands of people got jobs in transferring drugs across this nation. And you got thousands of people out there dealing drugs in every community. Should we condone drugs just because it provides somebody with a livelihood? Let's ask ourselves, where's the morality in it? What about the legality of it? Where do we go if we keep on digging this ditch for ourselves that redefines what's good versus what's bad and changes what's good to what's bad, and just because it's beneficial to some, it's controlled and accepted as good? I believe that we in Macon County, Alabama, need to take a serious look at, a very serious look at ourselves. I think each one of us ought to walk up to a mirror and we ought to look at ourselves. And I think we ought to look at the person in the mirror and say, who is that person? Do you like that person? What does this person stand for that I'm looking at in the mirror? And then if you can say good about all of those things, well, then you're in pretty good shape. Now, the next question you ought to ask yourself, when the governor cracks down on gambling, will I support the governor or will I support the evildoers that's out there pushing bingo as a legal gaming operation in order to net millions, if not billions with a B, for Milton McGregor, the owner, and all of the other little Negroes that he's plugged up in here, who's probably getting more money now off of bingo than they ever got off of anything in their lifetime, except perhaps if it was a major lawsuit that they may have filed, they got a big settlement off of. They are just as happy as they can be. But what does it mean for the rest of us? You know what Tuskegee gets out of bingo? Peanuts. Peanuts. All of year before last, about $69,000. It's rumored that bingo brought in $400 million. You know what senior citizens got out of bingo? Peanuts, if anything. You know what the children of Macon County got out of bingo? Maybe $100,000 in that little old allotment that they give to each school, claiming them to be sponsors of the bingo bill as nonprofit organizations. Well, I just believe that we're probably barking up the wrong tree. I believe that sooner or later this whole thing is going to come back to haunt us. And I believe some of those sly, slick, wicked people up top are going to roll away just wheelbarrows full of money, while the rest of us will find ourselves on a sinking ship in this county. So, as the governor pursue legality versus greed, and as the lawsuit progresses that's dealing with racketeering of who works for master, who's a lawyer for master, who works for the sheriff, who's a lawyer for the sheriff, are the rules being made to create a monopoly for master? And if they are, is this lawyer associated with this law firm? whereby they're all in the same big old barrel of greed, stroking each other and looking out for each other in that monopoly. What's going to be the situation? Well, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen in the end. But I do know that I am extremely glad of the fact that we have a governor that's interested in what's morally right and what's legally right. And I'm glad that the federal judge, who reinstated a lot of those elements of that lawsuit that some regional judges had tried to kick out, and the judge is going to force the issue to determine who's planning with who's paying who is over there in the bed with so-and-so, making rules that can create monopolies, that can rape everybody else of opportunity. And maybe, just maybe, Macon County will see the light. Maybe we'll begin to heal. Maybe we'll begin to determine what's right and what's wrong, and be able to put labels on right or wrong. Okay, it's important that we pay some attention to those kinds of things, I believe.